Hi everyone, Letty here. Today I'm doing a craft with me video where we're going to make Christmas variety candy favors using several different kinds of Dollar Tree candy. So this is another Christmas candy favor video. If you've seen my channel, I've done several. A lot of them using these candies from Dollar Tree. This one is no different. I am using several different kinds. Since I've already opened up these packages, I'm just kind of showing you the outside packaging. Dollar Tree is the place to go for holiday candy because they have so many different varieties. So I went ahead and picked up several of them and I'll be using them in this video. I also used some twine. I picked this one up at Tuesday morning a couple years ago. I'm using these Hobby Lobby stickers. I did buy these this year. I think they come out with a version of this pretty much every year. I'm using a 1-inch circle punch and mine is the thick version from Fiskars. I'm using some solid red cardstock. This is just regular 8.5 by 11 cardstock. I'm going to be using some paper. This is from the Merry Everything paper pad. It's a hot buy by CRAFTSMITH that you can find at Michael's. I did buy this a couple of years ago, but they usually have some different versions of paper that looks just like this every year. So this is the one that I'm using today. I'm going to use a few sheets from this 12 by 12 paper pad. And again, this was just a hot buy at Michael's from a couple of years ago. And you do see that it is single-sided. So single-sided paper works just fine with this. I'm going to be using some clear adhesive bags. This one are some that I found on Amazon. And this is what the actual assembled candy pack looks like. I went ahead and put all of the different candies I was going to be making into the clear bag, sealed them up, and they are ready to do the project. So first thing you do is you choose which candies you want and then fill them or fit them in the bag. And you do want to be mindful of their orientation. So if you have directional candy, kind of like this Santa, you want to make sure that you're putting all of the candies in the same orientation and that your favor matches the same orientation. So if you do horizontal or if you do vertical, just make sure you keep an eye on that, and that's how you'll cut your paper. Then you're going to go ahead and seal the bag. So you just remove the adhesive cover and you seal the bag itself. So next we're going to choose the patterns of paper that we want to use, that we'll use to cut for our favors. You will be cutting your paper mats down to 4 inches by 5 1/4. And so basically you can cut from 4 inches from the bottom of a sheet, and then each of those strips you're going to cut into 5 1/2. I'm sorry, 5 1/4. So you'll get 2 of those mats from every 4-inch strip. So your paper mats again are 4 inches by 5 1/4 wide. And you'll have a small little scrap left over. You can use that later on for a different project. So you basically should get 6 card mats from every 12 by 12 sheet of paper. And I am mixing and matching because I'm going to end up putting one mat on the front and one on the back. And any of your leftover mats that you don't end up using can be used to make A2 size cards, because this is the exact size of an A2 size card mat. So again, 4 inches by 5 1/4. So I'm just cutting all of my paper down right here. And you see I do use several different designs. So this is actually it's a Westcott guillotine paper trimmer that I recently purchased from Office Depot. I like it so far. I'm not a huge fan of the black numbers. I had to come in and write them in. But so far it's been okay. Now we're cutting the cardstock. So you're going to cut at 5 1/2 on the 11-inch side, and then you're going to cut at 4 1/4 on the 8 1/2-inch side. So your card mat's going to be 5 1/2 by 4 1/4. So basically your paper mat will go right on the inside of the cardstock mat and leave just a small little thin border. I'm going to use my ATG runner for my adhesive, and I'm basically going to just glue down the mats to each side of the cardstock mat. And make sure that you're mindful of the direction of the paper. Again, you want to make sure that both sides are facing the same orientation, so up and down or left to right. And then what you do is you're going to notch out a 1/2 of a circle on each of the 2 sides for your direction. So these are some horizontal favors that I'm doing. So I'm going to be punching the notches on the left and right of the holes. If this was a vertical one, you'd do top and bottom. And then you're going to measure enough twine to kind of wrap around. I'm using approximately 22 inches of twine, but you can actually use more and wrap almost like a present, wrap it both ways. I'm only wrapping around the 2 notches. And so those notches that we punched out on the sides, the half circles, that's actually to help secure it. So later on, I will come back and put a sticker on that favor. So now I'm just going to cut out several strips, because you know how I like to assembly line my crafts. So I'm cutting out all of my strips of twine, and then I'll go in and I'll start gluing all of the mats to the remaining favors. So one of the really neat things about this is that you can change up your paper, change up your cardstock, change up your candy, change up your twine color. The possibilities are endless or limitless with this project. You can do Valentine favors like this, New Year's favors, wedding favors, birthday. You literally could do any different season or reason just by changing out the paper. So even though today's Christmas and I'm posting this kind of late, I figured it was still worth sharing, because you can absolutely change up your paper and your candy and use this for any different season or reason. I did see this idea on one of the crafty ladies that was participating in the Crafty Christmas Collab 2020 that was hosted by Beth, who was Bourbon Creek Crafts here on Instagram and YouTube, or here on YouTube and also on Instagram. I can't remember who exactly had this idea, or who did this favor, or something very similar to this, but I believe it was during week 3 of our Crafty Christmas collab. If I locate who that person was, I will absolutely link her video down in the description box below. But I do remember she did something very, very similar to this. And so when I saw that, I thought, oh, that's a great idea. And then lo and behold, I got together the Dollar Tree candy and decided to go ahead and make these favors. And I did pass these out to my coworkers at work last week. So the last step that I'm doing is I'm going to add these Merry Christmas stickers. They're gold foiled as a sentiment onto the favor, and I'm just putting it in the bottom right hand corner. You can absolutely do a tag or something else to kind of finish off these favors. I just went ahead and used up these Merry Christmas stickers. I will have close-up pictures on my Instagram, which is Party Planner Papery. And so you could definitely want to check it out if you want to see a little bit more of a close-ups. I really liked these Hobby Lobby stickers, by the way. If you have a chance to get some, especially right now that they're probably going to be on clearance right after today, you definitely want to try to get some. I thought they were really good, and they made adding a sentiment to this project extremely quick and easy. And I still had some left over, so I'll be using those for future cards or something. But this is the finished, variety candy favor. You have a variety of candy in each one. I'm using Dollar Tree candy. I thought they turned out pretty good. And again, you could always add a different tag or something. You can change up the paper, any season, any reason, and make it work for you. Thanks for visiting. Hope you subscribe, like this video, and follow me on Instagram. Thanks, everybody. Happy holidays.